I opted out of the family trip to Hawaii when I learned my self-centered sister was invited. My mom texted, "Fine, we'll give her your ticket then." Enraged, I canceled every reservation. The following day, they asked me to a family barbecue. When I showed up, I was floored. 9 days before my birthday, I was supposed to be gearing up for Hawaii. A week on Oahu, just me and my parents, a birthday getaway, they said, to make amends for past wrongs. I let myself believe it. I even thought we were starting fresh. I'd been grinding at work for months, barely pausing, and they promised it'd be just us, no chaos, no surprises. That promise was a lie. For context, I live in the same town as my parents, but moved out years ago, unable to tolerate their constant defense of my sister's antics. They never acknowledged her true nature, or maybe they did and just didn't care. My sister and I hadn't spoken in years. Once, she conned me out of thousands I'd saved during college. She claimed it was for rent and car repairs, swearing she'd pay me back. She never did. Instead, she disappeared for months, only to reappear at a family dinner like nothing happened. My parents never challenged her. They told me to let it go. She was struggling. She was always struggling. A few years back, she moved out of state for college, renting a place in some town I didn't bother to note, supposedly studying psychology or something equally ironic. Her rare visits were a relief because they were so infrequent. So when I heard she'd shown up unannounced at my parents' house, I sensed trouble. I told them flat out, if she's coming to Hawaii, I'm not. They swore it was just a visit, no mention of her joining. I didn't push but avoided them all week to steer clear of her. Then, 9 days before the flight, my dad called with a fake weather update. "Your sister's been with us. We've missed her," he said. I stayed quiet. He went on. "She's been working hard. If you're not going, maybe we'll give her your ticket. She could use the break." Just like that, as if the trip wasn't for my birthday. Anger surged. I didn't argue, I hung up. After a long silence, I opened my laptop and canceled everything. Flights, hotel, rental car, even the beachfront restaurant I'd reserved since I was 18. All booked under my name and card because they'd promised to pay me back later. Typical. They found out within hours. Calls, texts, group chats followed. My mom called me dramatic. My dad said I was childish. Then they invited me to a family reunion barbecue that weekend to sort things out. They said my sister would be there and I should rise above. I shouldn't have gone, but I did. That's when it all fell apart. I arrived at my parents' house already dreading it. I parked a block away, planning a quick exit. The invite said reunion, but it was just a backyard cookout, the kind they hosted to fake normalcy. I hadn't been to one in nearly 2 years. The place was packed relatives, neighbors, even strangers, like they wanted a crowd to witness their charade. I grabbed a soda and lingered by the fence, dodging small talk. At first, I didn't see my sister, which gave me false hope. My mom waved me over, all smiles, introducing me to a coworker, acting like everything was fine. I played along briefly, then slipped to the food table. There, Uncle Dan cornered me. No hello, just a chuckle. "So, you're the hero now, huh? Handing your birthday trip to your sister. You two patching things up?" I thought he was kidding. "What are you talking about?" I asked. He looked confused. "That's what she said. You felt guilty and gave her the trip." I didn't respond. I grabbed another soda, my mind reeling. She was telling everyone I'd willingly given her the ticket, spinning it as some generous act. Then I saw her. By the grill with my dad, laughing like she hadn't shattered our relationship. She wore a flashy dress, hair swept up, holding a cocktail like she was posing for a lifestyle blog. I stayed silent, watching, trying to grasp the extent of her lie. Then I approached and said we needed to talk. She followed me to the side of the house, expecting some emotional exchange. I asked why she was lying. She shrugged. "Why does it matter? You canceled the trip. If anyone's going, it should be me." I stared. She didn't even pretend to care. "And you told people I gave it to you?" She smirked. "It's a nicer story. Makes you look good. Win-win." I turned and left without a word to my parents. But as I reached the gate, my dad shouted my name, loud enough for everyone to hear. You can't just ditch your family. I stopped and faced him. She stole from me. She's lying to everyone, and you keep covering for her. Then I walked out. I didn't go home. I drove aimlessly, landing at a rundown diner on the outskirts of town, with faded menus and the smell of stale grease. I sat by the window, sipping tea I didn't want. Halfway through, my phone pinged. An unknown number. A photo. My sister on a hotel bed, the ocean sparkling behind her through glass doors. A drink in her hand. A smug grin. The caption, "Thanks for the upgrade. Too kind." It hit me. I'd canceled the bookings, but days earlier, I'd sent my mom the confirmation emails when she asked to see the hotel details. My sister must have accessed them, maybe hacked my account or guessed my password. She'd reactivated the reservation under my name. While I sat in that diner, she was checking into an Oahu suite. Then it got worse. My credit card was still linked. The hotel charged me nearly $6,000. The next day, I called the hotel. After 3 transfers, a staff member confirmed the reservation was reactivated under my name. Someone had checked in with the confirmation code and an ID matching my last name. The system was so loose they didn't question it. She'd likely used a fake ID with my name. I filed a dispute with my bank, knowing it'd be a fight. The hotel would dodge blame, and I'd be lucky to recover anything after months of hassle. At work, I couldn't concentrate. I checked her social media. Nothing. Then I saw my mom's Facebook. A new post. A photo of my sister, my parents, and the beach. All smiling, my mom with a tropical drink, my sister stealing the spotlight like the trip was hers. They'd gone with her. They'd bought new tickets or let her convince them. No one told me. No call, no text, just silence, like I didn't matter. I didn't go home that night either. I went back to the diner. The same waiter refilled my tea without a word. I must have looked as defeated as I felt. While scrolling emails, one arrived from my apartment complex. Subject: Notice of Unit Access. My sister had shown up that afternoon, claiming an emergency, saying she was locked out of her apartment, my unit. She'd convinced them she was on the lease, using a spare key she'd kept from when we briefly lived together years ago. I'd forgotten she had it. I called my landlord. He said she was convincing and had a key. I raced home. The door was fine, but inside, things were wrong. A drawer was ajar, my bathroom cabinet rifled through, papers from my desk gone. My spare checkbook and a USB drive by my router were missing. I sat on the floor, hollow. First my money, now my home, all in under 48 hours. She was spiraling, and I didn't know what she'd do next. That night, I didn't sleep. I checked every inch of my apartment, unsure what I was searching for. The stolen items, files, USB, checkbook, could be used for anything. By morning, I had a plan. I was done tolerating her, done letting my parents dismiss it. She'd stolen from me, invaded my space, and was gloating. I started gathering evidence. Bank records, hotel charges, texts, photos. I got footage from my building's security camera. She was there, in a jacket and shades, leaving with a bag she didn't have when she arrived. I took it all to the police. The officer listened intently, called it potential fraud and trespassing, and assigned a detective. Later, she posted a public Instagram video, forgetting to block me. It showed her by a rooftop pool, drink in hand, panning the view. She turned the camera and smirked. Some people live for adventure, others can't handle it. The next clip was worse, a tour of the suite, showing a gift basket with a note. Happy birthday, Alex, love, Mom and Dad. She panned to an old birthday video I'd made, laughing like the trip was her tribute. I snapped. I took the video to the police. The detective reviewed it, noting the fake ID, financial fraud, and unauthorized entry. This isn't minor anymore, he said. I gave them everything: her number, email, last known address. A report was filed. For the first time in years, I felt unburdened, but not foolish. I knew this wouldn't end fast. The next morning, 3 missed calls from my mom. A voicemail: "We're cutting the trip short. Something happened." I didn't call back. Then a knock. My dad, weary, asked to come in. I didn't answer. "She says you're trying to destroy her," he said. "I'm tired of her destroying me," I replied. He looked at me differently then. They're looking for her. She fled. From Hawaii. Didn't return to school. No one knew where she was. She hadn't vanished dramatically, just left after local police visited the hotel. Staff said she seemed anxious, packed a bag, and took a cab. By the time they noticed, her phone was off. The police back home were informed. She wasn't a fugitive, just wanted for fraud, ID misuse, and trespassing. Not headline-worthy, but she knew it was serious. My mom called again. I ignored it. Her voicemail was tense, ashamed, no apology, just things got out of control. 2 days later, an unknown number called. It was her. No pleasantries, just accusations. I didn't steal. I took what was mine. You owe me for how you treated me growing up. She claimed our parents favored me, that I was just as cunning but subtler. Then she admitted why she left the hotel, not fear, but because she'd met a wealthy guy at the bar who invited her to California. She went without hesitation. Typical. I asked why she called. After a pause, she said, when they come for me, say it was a misunderstanding. I refused. You're cutting me off completely? She asked. You cut me off, I said. Before hanging up, she snapped, you always thought you were above me. That night, my parents showed up unannounced. My mom sobbed, my dad tried to mediate. They swore they didn't know she'd used my info, thought the trip would help her. I said one thing. She didn't leave because she was scared, she left for something better. They had no response. My dad handed me an envelope. A check for more than the trip's cost. I took it, but it changed nothing. Life oddly settled after that. She was gone. No one admitted they were relieved. A month passed with no word from her or the police. For the first time in years, it was calm. I stayed cautious, changed passwords, monitored accounts, added new locks. I barely spoke to my parents except when they sent legal mail. The hotel filed complaints, unauthorized charges, fake ID, state-level charges. 3 weeks ago, a handwritten letter arrived, no return address. 7 pages of scattered excuses. The guy in California ditched her when he realized she had no money. She was sleeping on an air mattress in Long Beach, working odd jobs. She admitted taking the USB useless, just tax files, and destroying the checkbook. The last line lingered. I should have asked for help, but I knew you'd refuse, so I took what I thought I was owed. The most truthful thing she'd ever said. I gave the letter to the detective. 2 days later, she was arrested outside a convenience store with a fake ID. No fight. The charges stacked up: fraud, identity theft, trespassing, warrants in another state. She pleaded guilty to avoid trial. 18 months in a California halfway house, no bail. At sentencing, she sobbed, begged for probation, said she had nowhere to go. It didn't matter. My parents didn't visit. My mom sent a letter. I didn't respond. My dad never mentioned her again. I kept her letter, not for forgiveness, but as proof I was right to stop shielding her. Some boundaries, once crossed, demand consequences. 6 months later, life moved forward. I focused on work, took a solo trip to Utah, reclaimed my space. My apartment felt like home again. Then, last week, the detective called. She'd applied for a restorative justice program, conditional on victim approval, full repayment, therapy, supervised work. One slip, and she'd serve the full sentence. I took time to decide. Reread her letter. Reviewed the evidence. Called my dad. He hadn't heard. My mom was uncertain. For once, they didn't meddle. 2 days later, I signed the form. Not to let her off, but because making her repay every penny and earn her way back felt like true accountability. The program accepted her. The coordinator sent a file, payment plans, work logs. At the bottom, a note from her. One sentence. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I'm ready to own my actions. No excuses, no blame. I printed it and taped it inside my desk drawer. Not because it healed anything, but because I never thought she'd stop pretending. Maybe, just maybe, that's where change starts.